Hello, welcome to round 5. 41 to 50. I've hit the halfway point of my original goal of 100, and I already have a couple watched heading towards 60, and I haven't slowed down yet, actually. I thought for sure at this point I'd be starting to get burnt out on the year, but there's still lots of good ones to come, so I'm doing well at like spreading out movies that I'm not sure about with movies that I assume are going to be at the top of my list. And so I'm bringing you from 41 to 50 here for the year 2008. My endless marathon watch. I was going to up how many movies I start putting in these episodes because I have way more than 100. So I was thinking of bumping it up to 15 per episode going forward, just so I can get even further into how many I do. But for now, I'll just stick it at 10. I'll keep them all at 10. And like I said, at the end, if I feel like I have enough to like do a few more episodes where there would be a contender to be in the finals, then I'll keep going. But let's meet the contestants for this round. First up, we have Zach and Miri Make a Porno. We have Prom Night. Oops. Sorry. Loud bang alert. The Echo. Step Brothers. Passengers. Still got a sticker on that. $3. Valkyrie. And then from this Saw collection, it's Saw 5 that's entering. Talk about this collection when I get to it. Eagle Eye. The Eye. And last for the episode is The Bank Job. So yeah, 10 more coming in here. And like last episode, I'll give you a hint at one that's coming in the next episode. And that would one of the few that I've watched for the next episode is Tropic Thunder. All right. This is quite the doozy here. There's a few that were really close, but I'll start by getting rid of the ones that weren't. So sitting in 10th place for the episode is this little one here that I bought called The Echo. I bought this one specifically for this 2008 ranking. It was available on Amazon for a really cheap price from the executive producer of The Ring and the Grudge. It's so stupid, those things. So we have Jesse Bradford. I've seen him in a few like rom-coms back then. That's about all I know him from. And we also have Kevin Durant, who you would know if you've seen as well, if you don't know him by name. He's always like a villain in like action movies, basically. This one, so I'm starting off at a 2. I gave this a 2, so we got a good start here. Last few episodes, it's been like half-star movies and fucking 1 stars. So we're starting off at a 2. And the reason is that I actually find a few of the scares pretty creepy in this. Jesse Bradford just gets out of prison, and you don't really know why he's in there. And he moves back to his own neighborhood. He finds an apartment, and the apartment or slash building is haunted. And he keeps seeing ghosts, and he doesn't know what it is, and it's one of those slowly piece this story together. Kind of in the vein of The Ring and The Grudge. Just not nearly as good as those two. And you get pretty solid ghost jump scares, as you would expect. And I just wasn't happy with the conclusion. That's why this movie is sitting where it's at. I honestly, it took too long to give you anything. Like the first half hour of the movie, there's like nothing. So I'm like, come on, like give us something, jeez. So that was one of the reasons, but there's no need to go too deep on these. You know what you're getting. It's just a haunted apartment, and there's a storyline of why it's haunted, and he's piecing it together piece by piece as the movie goes on, and it's delivering you some solid supernatural jump scares throughout. It's worthy of a watch. Some people might actually like it more than me. And then we have my second elimination, and that is Prom Night, the remake. This is another, I gave this a 2.5 out of 10. Or out of 5, sorry. And the reason being is that I just find it boring. Like, I'm a big fan of the original Prom Night. I think it's really well done. It's well crafted. You have solid dance sequences in Prom Night and an awesome soundtrack. So this has none of that. Like, it's just, the whole thing does take place at prom basically, except for the beginning and the end. But it's just, I don't give a shit about the characters enough. Like, and the killer, there's no storyline. He's just obsessed with her, and he wants to kill her and her family because he wants to fuck her. Like, it's like, that's too basic. The original's basic too, but at least it has like some guessing on who it is, some whodunit feel to it, and this doesn't. You know who the killer is right from the get-go. And it's basically just Brittany Snow's story. Like, character development and just getting to know her throughout the whole movie. And it's okay. It's just all the kills are kind of lame. Like, there's nothing brutal. It's all just quick stabs. Yeah. 2.5. It could have been so much better. But it isn't. So you get what you get. The era, the 2000s is really the era of the fucking horror remakes. And all the ones I can think of, this one definitely falls in the bottom tier of all those. There's not enough to it. I just don't care. I'll probably never watch that again. I've seen it a few times in my life. I'm done with it. And then next up, we have the elimination of The Eye. This is a remake of like the Chinese, or is it Chinese or Japanese horror movie? Fuck, I don't know. I think it's Japanese, right? Most of them are Japanese remakes. I'll go with Japanese, but there's a chance it's Chinese. This one, although this is another one that's a letdown, another remake, and I'm like, do you need it? Like, what the hell is with these remakes? But this one is somewhat intriguing, at least. Like, Jessica Alba's blind, and she gets an eye donor. So she gets new eyes put in somehow. And they just happen to be the eyes of a Mexican woman that could or could not be a witch. There's a storyline there. Won't reveal. And so she starts seeing people dying and stuff, and she's trying to figure out why she's seeing it. And there is a reason. And you could call this a horror movie, but to be honest, where it goes and how it plays out isn't really horror. It's just this one's a hard one to talk about without spoiling. There's a it's so hard because the whole plot, it all just leads up to you figuring out what the eyes are. But there's some creepy moments where she's looking in the mirror and it's not Jessica Alba. It's actually the Mexican woman. So when she sees a photo of herself at a certain point, she's like, "Oh, who's that woman?" To her sister, played by Parker Posey. And her sister's like, "That's you." She's like, "That's not me." Because she's never seen herself, right? Because she's been blind her whole life. So she runs to the mirror and she looks and she's seeing the Mexican woman in the mirror. It's a reflection and not herself. And that's like when the movie kind of gets interesting and you're like, "Oh, okay, what's going on here?" So I had some fun with it. And where it leads and how it ends, it's a little bit, let's say, like a little bit like like Final Destination. I'll give you that. And then, geez, I didn't even realize that my bottom 4 here are the only horror movies I have in this set. That's crazy. So yeah, in 7th place, we have the elimination of Saw 5. Now, for those who've never seen this box set, I'll give you a quick overview of it while I'm here. It comes with this pack, and I haven't even opened mine, but it comes with a whole bunch of cards that you can change the cover for. But I just like this here, so I just I just left it as that, which is fine. And then it comes with one of the worst, stupid, modern day ways to put together box sets, and that's these stupid plastic things with the stacked discs. I absolutely fucking hate these things. And by stacked discs, I mean there is like 3 or 4 discs per one of these slots, because this is a 20 disc box set. Comes with all 10 films on Blu-ray. And then it comes with bonus feature discs, and it comes with the DVDs. So it is a shit ton. Like, I love all the content you get, but this packaging fucking sucks ass. Like, I hate these damn things. I have a lot of TV shows that are inside these. And I am just not a damn fan of these. They really bug me. If I can put this back in, okay. So yeah, Saw 5. I am not a huge fan of the Saw franchise. I like them all. Like this one, I think I gave a 3 to. I like them. I just, after the first, 3, I don't, I could care less anymore. And it bugs me. But this one has, for anyone that's seen them all, this one is heavy on Detective Hoffman's story. So yeah, I don't even really know a lot about these. I think I've only ever seen this twice. This would have been my second time. First time when it came out, in the theater probably. But what can I say? It's Saw. There's traps. This one does have some okay traps in it. It starts the first section is with a bunch of people and they're locked with chains on their neck against a wall, and they have to try to work together to get the keys out of the box, and they end up failing miserably as per usual. The one girl ends up getting her head sliced off, and then they escape and they make it into the next room, and then basically each room someone's gonna die. And that's the problem I have, is that they're so damn predictable. It's oh, okay, what's the next way someone's gonna die? And I get it. I get the appeal. It's ugh, someone died really grossly. But it just wears out on me. I'm sick of it at a certain point. And this movie would be that point. But yet, I still find enough enjoyment in it to have it sitting above other movies. So, that must say something, right? Saw 5, and it's sitting in 7th out of 10. It's pretty good. But yeah, it just adds to the Detective Hoffman story and progresses it forward. It has an okay conclusion that I didn't fully understand, because I didn't just watch number 4 or number 3. This is just number 5, so I had to like try and muscle memory what happened before this. And I couldn't really, so I didn't fully understand the ending. But it is what it is. It's another Saw movie. And then, in 6th place, we have, and I'm going to take this sticker off while I'm here. I usually get all my, when I buy a movie used, I usually remove the stickers immediately, but apparently I forgot to do that on this one. But, if you didn't see the sticker the first time, I only paid $3 for this one, which is how I do a lot of my collecting. And quite honestly, I love going to thrift stores, antique malls, record stores. I buy a lot of my collection used. But this is the elimination of Passengers. This one stars Patrick Wilson and Anne Hathaway. And this was a first-time watch for this one. I had never seen this one before. And I thought it was going to be a horror movie, in the vein of like a Final Destination again. Because it's about a woman that has to talk to a bunch of people that survived a plane crash. And mysterious things start happening, and you don't really, it's just like a mystery thriller. The problem is I knew exactly what was happening, like in the opening 10 minutes of the movie. I already knew where the movie was going and the ending and everything. But it's still an emotional journey. It's not a horror movie. This is like a emotional thriller. Yeah, it's just, I can't really give a lot away on this one yet again without spoiling it. But if you've seen it, it'd be interesting to know how long it took you to figure out what the whole movie was about, because I had no clue. It's a blind watch, so I just threw it in. I'm checking it out. And I just feel like they reveal too much in the first 5 minutes. They shouldn't have. If you're, like, listen, we were all dumber. Fucking 13, or what is it, 17 years ago when these came out. So I'm assuming there were people that didn't figure it out, but now we've seen so many movies trying to do so many thriller type plots that it's kind of hard to trick us at this point. Trick me, at least. And this one didn't do it. But it's still a solid ride, even though you know where it's going. It's pretty good. The acting's pretty solid. You feel for the characters. And it's kind of gut-wrenching in the final act. I'd check it out for sure. And then in 5th place, we have the elimination of The Bank Job with Saffron Barrows and Jason Statham, amongst a couple other familiar faces, but those are the 2 stars. I think that's how you pronounce her name, Saffron Barrows. She's the girl from Deep Blue Sea. It's really hard to, I don't really know. It looks like Saffron Burrows to me, but I'm not sure if I'm butchering that, sorry. But yeah, this one is it's a solid heist movie. Oh, I got floppy disk here. There we go. I actually have 2 copies, so I bought this used as well, and it came with 2 of the Blu-rays. Disc 1s and then a disc 2. But yeah, just in case one doesn't work, I have a second copy in there, but that's always bonus. It's a typical heist thriller, but this one's based on a true story. One that actually took place. So it's somewhat interesting to see what actually happened in the event. I had no clue that it was even a true story going in. But like most true stories, when it ends, I always look up the true story and see what happened. And this is pretty damn similar to what happened. It's like some of it has to be assumed, obviously, like all movies that are based on true stories, because it's impossible to actually know. So they're just adding in some of their own, what they think happened. But it's solid. It's got some twists and turns. It's got a bunch of, like, high up. Jason Statham puts together a team, and they break into a vault that holds lock boxes. And they steal everything in it, and they find pictures of, like, the prime minister doing weird sex acts at a brothel. They find there's a black guy that's, like, kind of a gangster, and but it also a political figure, and they find a bunch of his stuff. So basically everyone's after them to kill them after they do this, and they set it all up, and it leads to a pretty solid finale of all their stories coming together as one. And yeah, that's all I can really say without revealing a whole lot. There's some decent action set pieces, and all the acting solid. There was only a couple moments where I was, like, starting to get a bit bored, because I've seen so many bank robbery stories that it's, like, it's hard to not get a little bored unless it's just blowing your mind. This one doesn't blow your mind, it's just your average one. And that's probably a lot to do with, because it's based on a true story. And most things that are real are kind of boring. Okay, top 4 here. We have Eagle Eye, Valkyrie. Oh, yeah, this ain't gonna work again. Why do I even try? Eagle Eye, I'll just leave him. Valkyrie, Step Brothers, and my 4th place elimination, Zack and Miri Make a Porno. This is only the 2nd time I've ever watched this movie. And I don't know why, because it's actually really funny. This is going up to a 4 now. And I actually thought this was, like, solid comedy. It's not something you can watch with the family, because they actually show a lot of pornographic sex scenes. Half the movie, I would say. But they're all pretty funny. And it's just a story. If you don't know, it's Seth Rogen and Elizabeth Banks. They're just friends. They've been friends since, like, public school. And they've grown up together, and they live together, and they share an apartment. And basically they're both just, their lives are falling apart. They can't afford to pay their bills. Their hydro's being shut off. Their water's turned off. At a certain point, they're just sitting in their living room with a garbage can fire going, and to keep warm. So they end up going to their high school reunion, and they run into a few people, but the one person they run into, and it's the highlight of the fucking movie to me. Like, it's so memorable. And it's Brandon Routh, who Elizabeth Banks is going there to basically have sex with, because she had the hots for him in high school. And his boyfriend, Justin Long. So he's gay now. And his boyfriend, Justin Long, in one of Justin Long's funniest moments, he's an awesome actor, and I love him in a lot of things, but this little, like, 10 minutes, even 5 minutes that he's in this, is really damn memorable. But he's a gay porn star, and he just delivers a whole bunch of really funny moments. It's hard to describe. I can't even say some of them. Like, I don't even know if YouTube allows it, because it's so porno-y. But that section is awesome, but then it gives them the idea to shoot their own porn for money. So they put together a team of misfits and try shooting porn. And you know where it's going. It's basically a love story between the two of them. and they fall in love together, and it's actually really good. It's a really crazy, unique way of doing a rom-com. But I have to say that who is the porn star in this? I don't know her name. Damn it. Katie Morgan. They hire like a real life porn star. And there's a anal sex scene. I don't know what I'm allowed to say on here, but I'm going to go for it anyway. Where Jason Mewes and her are doing it, and the cameraman is underneath shooting up the scene. And it's one of the grossest. It's fucking disgusting how this scene plays out. Like, just nasty. So I don't even need to get into it, but it just caught me off guard. I did not remember the scene, and I'm gonna say I almost puked. So, yeah, that scene alone is worth it. But yeah, Zach and Miri make a porno. Good stuff. And then in third place, this might come as an absolute shock. See, these three were really hard for me to choose. And my third place elimination is actually going to be Valkyrie, which, going into this episode, I actually thought this was going to be my winner of the episode. This is the one that I chose before it started, that this would be my winner, because it's right down my alley, and it is good. My opponents are killing each other here. It is freaking good. Don't get me wrong, this is a contender. Like, I would say all three of these are equal, and I have to choose one to make it to the finals. Valkyrie seems like the one you should choose because it's so prestigious. But here's the thing. I have been fascinated with World War II my whole life. I've watched dozens of World War II documentaries. I've read pretty big World War II books, including The Rise and Fall of the Nazis, which is like a 1,500 page beast. I know a lot about World War II, so this one is a huge one in that department because it's based on the attempt to kill Hitler by Nazi generals, led by Colonel Stauffenberg. And he led a bunch of Nazi generals to try and eliminate Hitler in 1944 before the war came to an end, and take over his position of power and try to bring peace back to Germany and salvage their country from what they thought was going to happen, and that's just the complete annihilation of Germany for what they've tried to do. So there is no good guys here. These are all guys that have done horrendous acts but have had a turning point in their lives, and they try to do the right thing and they fail, and it's a pretty fucking devastating ending. But it's Tom Cruise playing Colonel Stauffenberg. He does such a good job. He's just dedicated in this. Everybody is. It's a solid movie, but that's what it's about, is the attempted kill of Adolf Hitler. And because you know how this ends, like, if you went in this without knowing, then you might have a little more, like, this would probably blow your mind more, because you don't know how the thing plays out. But you should, because you know how Hitler died, I would assume. And it's not by assassination. So you should know the ending. And watching it play out is really good, I have to say. Check out Valkyrie. It's a fucking top-notch movie. Excellent everything. Intense thriller based on an actual event. And from the way I know the story, everything I've read, every biography I've seen, this pretty accurately tells it. It's only some minor differences here and there. So it comes to my final two here. Now, Eagle Eye was a first time watch. I had never seen this before. So the fact that it made it to my final two is kind of surprising. But I am going to give this episode to Step Brothers. And I have to say that I honestly thought Step Brothers was one of the funniest movies I had ever seen. And after this watch, it dropped a little bit. It's no longer that. But it's still really fucking good. It's a must-see. But this Eagle Eye movie was just so well done. It's such a good action thriller. Billy Bob Thornton, Shia LaBeouf, and Michelle Monaghan. They nail the roles. Shia LaBeouf, in my opinion, is extremely underrated. I think he gives 110% in like every fucking movie he does. Smoke went out. Sorry. And this one, it's hard to not spoil as well. He has a twin brother that is really dedicated to his life. Like he's really responsible. And his twin brother and him are estranged. They haven't talked in years. And his twin brother ends up coming up dead, and he goes to the funeral. And he's basically a loser, and the brother's excellent and excels in everything in life. And he gets sucked into a crazy world where the government controls a supercomputer, kind of like what exists in today's world, that spies on everybody and determines threats and stuff like that. And he gets a phone call, and it's a girl, and she tells him to like do this, do that, do this, and he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then it starts helping him escape situations and get to places, but he's wanted by the police now because they think he's part of some terrorist organization. And then it cuts to Michelle Monaghan's story, and the same thing happens to her. They threaten to kill her son if she doesn't follow these rules. Well, it all leads to some pretty fucking like awesome action sequences where they're controlling technology, and they're like, this one is so hard to explain. It's in the vein of like Minority Report, any movie where it's like, oh no, the technology is coming to kill us. It's in that vein. But Billy Bob Thornton plays the lead detective. His story has an awesome conclusion, really good. The movie's just really fucking good. Like, it's a must-see. If you've never seen Eagle Eye like me, check it out. And if you have seen it and you don't really remember it much, give it a second shot. Because, honestly, it kind of shocked me at how well made it was. I was like, wow, this is like really under the radar. But I have to put through Step Brothers to my finals. These two guys at the top of their comedy fucking game. They are just nailing these roles. There are so many iconic moments. Will Ferrell putting his balls on his drum set. But if you know nothing about Step Brothers, it's just two 40-year-old men who still live at home with their parents. Their parents meet. They're both single parents. They both meet, they get married, and these two guys are forced to move in with each other. But they're both just like man children. They're still acting like they're 12-year-olds. And it's pretty fucking comical. But Adam Scott is also in this. He plays Will Ferrell's older brother, who is really successful and does everything right in life, but he's such a fucking douche. Like, every time his face is on the screen, you're just like, oh my god, this guy's a fucking idiot. There's some awesome moments with Adam Scott's wife, Catherine Hahn, who she's just dying to get out of the relationship, so she's fucking and trying to fuck what's his name here? John C. Reilly, his character. And it's just a comedy. There's not much to reveal. Basically, it's you could call it a coming of age movie, I guess, for two 40-year-old men that are trying to grow up. And it's just solid. It's a good time. I enjoyed it. I laughed my ass off multiple times. It's just some of the humor did fall a little bit flat for me this time. I hadn't seen the movie in years, so it wasn't like the perfect. I ended up giving it a 4.5. It wasn't the perfect 5 that I remembered it being. Some of it did fall a little flat for me. But with that said, I think it deserves a spot in my finals. And yeah, it goes right in there. Step Brothers. So here's my ranking of this episode. I say check them all out, as I usually say. But in this one, there was nothing less than a 2, in my opinion. So they're all worthy of a watch. And like I said, I will bring you the next episode, which is featuring Tropic Thunder. That'll be round 6. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in a couple days.